On my way to the airport, a Porsche tried to cut me off, but I didn't yield. After overtaking me, the driver started repeatedly swerving into my lane. Since I was in a hurry, I chose to tolerate this road rage instead of engaging with the driver. Little did I know my restraint only encouraged their aggression. Within less than 100 yards, they forced me to stop 5 times. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to call the police. While reporting his license plate number to the officer, a sudden surge of rage overwhelmed me, and I stomped on the gas pedal, ramming into his car. Because when I looked at his license plate, I realized this Porsche was actually the birthday gift my wife had asked me for just last week. Bang, my Volkswagen fade and slammed straight into the rear of that Porsche. A sunglasses-wearing man with a cigarette dangling from his mouth stepped out of the Porsche, arrogantly striding to my car. He kicked my door and sneered, "You broke-ass loser, can't you read the logo? It's a Porsche ski. You dare hit a Porsche with your crappy Volkswagen? You've got some nerve." When I saw a man step out of the car, my heart sank. Things were indeed as bad as I feared. I rolled down my window and studied him coldly, searching for any telltale signs in his words and actions. $400,000, not a cent less, or you'll pay the price. He raised 3 fingers and shouted at me through the car window. I suppressed the urge to get out and slap him, deciding to wait and see what his relationship with my wife really was. A collision between luxury cars in the city center quickly drew a crowd of curious onlookers. This is going to be interesting. That Porsche looks like it costs hundreds of thousands. The owner of this Volkswagen is in for some serious trouble. This is the price of impulsiveness. A moment of patience brings calm waters. Why indulge in momentary satisfaction? Now look where it's gotten us, about to lose everything we own. Hearing the onlookers' comments, the man in sunglasses grew even more aggressive. He kicked my car door again, his eyes filled with malice. Driving a lousy Volkswagen and still refusing to yield to a Porsche? Who do you think you are? Now you're scared, hiding in your car like a coward. Too late for that. This is my girlfriend's brand new gift to me, worth a full $400,000. Pay up now, or I'll have you thrown in jail. Girlfriend, so there really is something fishy going on. That damn bitch. Let us see how you'll handle this today. After a moment's thought, I slowly pushed open my car door, staring coldly at that arrogant, slightly childish face. I said calmly, "If anyone should be paying compensation, it's you. I was driving straight with right away. You made a dangerous lane change. This is entirely your fault. And as we're going to jail those 2 kicks, you just gave my car door count as intentional property damage. Those 2 kicks alone are enough to land you behind bars. I don't give a damn about the law. All I know is when I'm driving a Porsche, you better get out of my way." Jail there isn't a prison built yet that can hold Kevin Shun. Seeing his utterly reckless expression, I couldn't help but let out a cold laugh. Some bystanders, seeing the sunglasses-wearing man driving a luxury car and speaking with such arrogance, assumed he was some rich second-generation heir. Hoping to curry favor, they began speaking up in his support. "That Volkswagen driver has some nerve. He hit someone else's car and demand compensation, then threatens to send someone to jail over a single kick door. Just because they got angry, he must think young people are easy to push around. Young man, don't be afraid. Take down my number. I can testify for you if needed." Exactly. I've studied some law. 2, damaging property only becomes a felony above 1,000. That kick of yours barely scratched the paint. And how could a scratch on this beat-up Volkswagen possibly be worth $1,000? Already arrogant, Kevin grew even more emboldened by the crowd's encouragement. He slammed his hand hard on the hood of my car and shouted at me, "Today, you're not only going to pay for my car, but you'll also kneel and apologize to me, or you're not leaving." I sneered and pointed at the approaching traffic officer. "Ask the cop who should be paying. As for kneeling, you'd better find yourself a good spot to kneel in advance." "I'll fucking beat." Enraged, Kevin lunged at me, but I kicked him to the ground. He got up and tried to come at me again, but was stopped by the arriving police. "Stop, or you're all coming to the station with me." "Officer, this broke bastard hit my car and attacked me. Arrest him now." Kevin clutched his waist while pointing at me to accuse me to the police. The officers ignored his wild claims and instead demanded we provide dashcam footage. I pulled up the dashcam, recording from my phone, to show the police. After reviewing the footage, the officer turned a cold gaze toward the smug-faced Kevin. "This was clearly entirely your fault. How dare you demand compensation from others? You'd better settle the compensation issue with the car behind you as soon as possible. Otherwise, we'll have to take you to the police station on charges of reckless driving." Do you cops even know how to judge a case? Take a good look. I'm driving a Porsche, and my girlfriend is a VIP. You can't afford to offend. I don't care what car you're driving or whose boyfriend you are. We're only here to enforce the law impartially. I'm warning you. If you continue refusing to accept the penalty, we will take you to the police station. Kevin initially kept complaining indignantly, but when he saw the stern expressions on the officers' faces, he didn't dare make any more trouble and chose to call for help instead. I glanced at the number. It was indeed calling my wife, Isabella Garcia. Though I couldn't hear their conversation, the playful grin and intimate tone on Kevin's face told me they were flirting while resolving the issue. After hanging up, Kevin regained his smugness and pointed at his car with arrogance, saying, "So what if I pay? Big deal. My Porsche has insurance coverage up to $500,000, more than enough to cover your crappy Volkswagen. Don't worry, you poor bastard, you'll get every penny. I sneered inwardly. That measly insurance of yours couldn't possibly cover my limited edition Phaeton, let alone the fact that your reckless driving isn't even within the insurer's liability scope. Today I'm determined to expose you two adulterous scumbags for what you truly are. Soon enough, the insurance adjuster arrived. The claims officer clearly knew cars. One glance at my vehicle, and his face went pale with shock. Only after reviewing the accident assessment report from the sunglasses-wearing man did he finally exhale in relief. Sir, this accident was caused by your intentional lane cutting, which falls outside our insurance coverage. Please negotiate compensation directly with the other party. Thank you. Upon hearing he'd have to pay himself, Kevin immediately changed his expression and started cursing at the claims adjuster. What kind of lousy insurance company is this? You don't pay for accidents, isn't this just scamming us policyholders? The claims adjuster didn't want to engage further and walked away with a dismissive wave. So what is it going to be, pay up or go to jail? I stared at him coldly and said calmly. Many bystanders, being righteous individuals, also began to reprimand him after learning the truth. Just because you drive a Porsche, you think you're something special. If someone doesn't yield, you deliberately cut them off. Do you think this road is your living room? You caused this mess yourself and still expect the insurance company to pay? Do you think insurance companies are fools? His attempt to show off backfired when I demanded compensation. Instead, his face twisted in humiliation, and the mocking voices from the crowd only fueled his rage. He pulled out a baseball bat from his car and started smashing my vehicle, wildly cursing and shouting as he swung. You want me to pay for it? Fine. I'll smash your car to pieces right in front of you. At worst, I'll just buy you a new one. How dare you demand compensation? I'll smash your face in. Seeing him descend into madness was exactly what I wanted. I quietly stepped aside, waiting to watch him make a fool of himself. After venting his anger, he threw $50,000 onto my car. You pauper, this $50,000 is more than enough to buy your piece of junk car. Consider the extra money charity for a beggar like you. Take the cash and get the hell out of my sight. I sneered coldly. This measly amount isn't even enough to buy one of my headlights, let alone more than enough. You'd better start figuring out how to raise more money, or you'll be rotting in jail. Hearing this, he looked at me with contempt. You poor bastard must be money crazy, seeing I'm wealthy and trying to extort me. Everyone knows your crappy Volkswagen is worth $30,000, $40,000 at most. I gave you $50,000 and you're still yapping. I'm telling you this is extortion and you could go to jail for it. Don't think I don't know the law. Bystanders also chimed in to persuade me. Sir, no. Want to quit your Volkswagen worth $30,000 or $40,000 and they're offering you $50,000 in compensation. Don't be too greedy. That's right, don't end up losing more than you gain and get sued for extortion. It wouldn't be worth it. At that moment, the Volkswagen dealership's damage assessor arrived. Who said this Volkswagen is only worth $30,000 or $40,000? This is a top-tier luxury car worth over $1 million. Just one headlight costs tens of thousands. When Kevin heard that my car was worth $1 million, his face turned pale, but his arrogant expression remained unchanged. The crowd of onlookers also changed their expressions when they heard my car was worth $1 million. Oh, so this gentleman is the real tycoon. How incredibly low-key. Truly wealthy people are low-key, unlike some immature young brats who think they're hot stuff just because they drive a Porsche. Yeah, for all we know, he rented that car. Now look what happened. He smashed someone else's $1 million luxury vehicle. He'll be paying for this. At that moment, the damage assessor finished his evaluation and reported to me, Mr. Miller, your vehicle has sustained severe damage. The repair costs would approach the price of a new car, making restoration economically unviable. I nodded coldly and glared at Kevin. Pay up $1 million, not a penny less. Hearing this, his arrogant expression softened somewhat, but he still remained defiant. You say it's worth $1 million, so it's worth $1 million hiring some con artist to spout a few lines and trying to extort money from me. This is fraud. I'm going to sue you to make him face reality. I took out the car purchase invoice and slapped it in front of him. See clearly now, have I been extorting you? After looking at the invoice, his face showed a flicker of emotion, but his haughty demeanor quickly returned. He pulled out a black card from his pocket and waved it in front of my eyes. So what if it's $1 million? My card here has $5 million. I'll pay you back right now. Someone in the crowd gasped, wow, that's a Centurion black card. Only billionaires are eligible to own one. This young man is truly loaded. To be worth over $100 million at such a young age, that's really something. Flattered by everyone's admiration, he grew even more smug, waving the black card around to show off. But he didn't know that the card in his hand was the supplementary card I had given my wife. All I had to do was notify the bank to freeze it, and it would become worthless. After instructing the bank to deactivate the supplementary card, I sneered at him. Don't brag. Just because you're holding a card $5 million, I bet you can't even swipe $10,000 with that thing. Hearing this, he immediately lost his temper. Give me your bank account number. I'll transfer the money right now. If the transfer goes through, I'll smash your face in. I promptly gave him my account details and told him to proceed. As it turned out, every attempt he made resulted in a notification that the card had been disabled. The onlookers began to sneer. Another fake rich guy with a black card probably can't even swipe 10 grand. Just admit you can't afford it instead of putting on this pathetic act. The sunglasses-wearing man, sweating profusely from anxiety, quickly ducked behind the car to make a phone call. So my wife, Isabella Garcia's call came through. David Miller, what is going on with my card? Why was it frozen? Notify the bank immediately to reactivate it and have them raise the credit limit to $15 million. I need it urgently. I responded calmly, why do you suddenly need so much money? What are you planning to do? I have my reasons for needing it. Why do you care so much? Just get it done quickly. I clenched my teeth and hung up the phone directly. It's all my fault for spoiling that bitch all this time, letting her become this arrogant. For the past decade, I've had to stay out of the public. I due to special circumstances, so I entrusted her to manage Apex Global Holdings on my behalf. Never did I imagine she'd secretly keep a toy boy behind my back. She's truly courting death. She thought that by making her the guard dog, Apex Global Holdings would become hers. After hanging up, Isabella sent me several messages in succession, all of which I ignored. Soon after, Kevin raised his phone to show me a $1 million transfer record someone had just sent him, looking at me with utter arrogance. Let me tell you, my girlfriend is worth billions. How could she possibly be short of your measly million? With that, he transferred the $1 million to me. The money transferred. Now, get lost. He pointed at the successful transfer record, tilting his head arrogantly as he shouted at me. I snorted coldly, you've only paid for one car. What about the compensation for the other car? My words left everyone present stunned. Kevin looked even more furious. Are you out of your mind? Or just addicted to extortion? When did I ever hit two of your cars? I pointed at the Porsche and said, this car is also mine, worth $400,000. Pay up now. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was stunned. This guy must hit his head or something. Very likely, otherwise how could he not even recognize his own car? Kevin flew into a rage, pointing at me and cursing loudly, you damn lunatic. You ever stop this nonsense? I ignored his rabid frenzy and instead threw the Porsche's ownership certificate in front of him. See for yourself, doesn't this car belong to me? Kevin picked up the ownership certificate and after confirming my photo on it, his shock quickly turned to fury. This car was clearly a birthday gift from my girlfriend. How could it be yours? You must have pulled some trick to scam me. Do you think I'm an easy target? My girlfriend is Isabella Garcia, the CEO of Apex Global Holdings. She's on her way, and you'll see what she does to you. The crowd immediately changed their expressions when they heard Kevin's girlfriend was the famous CEO of Apex Global Holdings. The CEO of Apex Global Holdings, Isabella Garcia, is this kid's girlfriend, that's no joke in Westwood City, who dares to cross Apex Global Holdings. So you should quit while you're ahead. I can see you've got some money, but Apex Global Holdings isn't someone you want to mess with. Just leave while you can. Seeing my silence, Kevin mistook it for fear of the Apex Global Holdings he just mentioned and sneered, what's scared now? Too late. Once my girlfriend arrives, I'll have her completely crush your company. Let us see how arrogant you can be then. I smiled faintly. We'll see about that. Just in a motorcade arrived a dignified woman, stepped out of a Range Rover followed by several bodyguards. Kevin's eyes lit up. My girlfriend's here. Just you wait and see how you're gonna die. Isabella rushed to Kevin's side the moment she stepped out of the car. She grabbed his hands tightly, her face full of concern. Kevin, darling, who's bullying you? I'll make them pay. The crowd immediately stirred at the arrival of Apex Global Holdings CEO. Oh my God, it's the legendary Iron Lady of Apex. Finally seeing her in person, she's even more charismatic than on TV. Look at her, she's so wealthy, yet still so devoted to her boyfriend. The moment she heard he was in trouble, she immediately brought people to back him up. Now, look at you, no money and no kindness toward me. Watch out or I'll replace you. This Volkswagen owner is really in trouble. Now the Iron Lady of Apex isn't someone to mess with. Kevin pulled Isabella over to me and pointed at me arrogantly. It's him. Not only did he try to extort money from me, but he also claimed the car you bought me was his. Darling, help me teach him a lesson. Who dares to have the guts to bully my man, Isabella Garcia? After hearing Kevin's accusation, Isabella turned around with an angry expression only to spot me in the crowd. Her fury instantly turned to shock. David, how could it be you? She quickly approached me and whispered in my ear, David, it's all a misunderstanding. We're all on the same side here. Kevin is my distant cousin. He borrowed my car for a drive, but I never expected he'd run into you. He's young and stubborn. Just apologize to him so both sides can save face and let us drop this matter. I pushed her away and deliberately raised my voice. Apologize? Why should I apologize to him? Don't you think you owe me an explanation? You say he's your cousin, but he calls you darling. The crowd at the scene kept growing, with some even starting live streams. What is going on here? A Volkswagen owner questioning the CEO of Apex Global Holdings and demanding an explanation about their relationship. Who exactly is Isabella's husband? This drama keeps getting better. I'm turning on my live stream too. It's definitely going viral. Something seems off, Apex, S. Garcia. Looks like she knows that Volkswagen owner. Look how they're whispering into each other's ears. Could this be a love triangle? Isabella lost face in front of me, her expression turning vicious. David Miller, I merely lent the car to my cousin for a drive, and you publicly slandered me. For the past 10 years, I've exhausted myself for Apex Global Holdings, yet you're blind and foolish, suspecting me without reason. Today you must apologize to Kevin and to me as well, otherwise get the hell out of Apex. My eyes turned icy cold as I abruptly slapped Isabella twice across the face with full force. You worthless bitch, did watching the door for 2 days make you think you own the place? How dare you tell me to get out of Apex? Isabella was stunned by my sudden assault, touching her reddened cheeks while staring at me in disbelief, unable to comprehend how I, who had always doted on her, could strike her like this. Gasps erupted from the crowd. That man S got guts, daring to hit the CEO of Apex Global Holdings. That S not bravery, that S suicide. Everyone knows the Iron Lady of Apex crossing her is asking for death. I don't think it's that simple. Just look at him driving $1 million luxury car. He is clearly no ordinary man. Kevin S. face twisted with rage when he saw me hit Isabella. You bastard, how dare you lay hands on my woman? I'll fucking kill you. He pointed at Isabella S. bodyguards and roared, are you fucking dead? Your boss is getting beaten and you're just standing there getting beaten to death. Because I've rarely shown my face at the company over the past decade, these bodyguards didn't recognize me at all. Following Kevin S. orders, they swarmed and restrained me. I struggled violently and shouted, let me go, I'm the real CEO of Apex Global Holdings. I'm your actual boss. Seeing me restrained by the bodyguards, Isabella flashed a smug smile and quietly retreated to the side. Breaking free from the bodyguard's grip with great effort, I pointed at Isabella and demanded, I paid for your mother's medical treatment out of kindness, funded your college education, and mentored you, even entrusted you with managing Apex Global Holdings. Is this how you repay me? Tell these people to let go. Tell them I'm your husband, the real boss of Apex. Isabella responded to my questioning with a slight curl of her lips, throwing me a contemptuous smirk as if to say, you deserve this. Kevin stepped forward, glaring at me with malice. How can you be so shameless? First you extort money from me, and now you're trying to claim my girlfriend with that old face of yours. You're not even worthy. The onlookers, realizing that the luxury car collision had unveiled a scandal among the wealthy, buzzed with even more fervent gossip. What is going on here? Testing the public as IQ, we VE switched from the who has the more expensive car flexing channel to the who S my husband mystery channel. It's definitely the Volkswagen owner, who S her husband. Look at them. They're about the same age and match in appearance and temperament. As for that Porsche owner, he S clearly just a young guy, could practically be their son. Can't be so sure about that. Nowadays, wealthy older women all go for young studs. I notice Garcia always looks at Kevin with such tenderness in her eyes, while she glares at David Miller with resentment. ISNT, it's obvious who her husband is. As if hearing the crowd S murmurs, Isabella sweetly linked arms with Kevin and announced to everyone. Let me clarify, Mr. Kevin Shin here is my husband. As for the others, they are all people with ulterior motives who want to exploit my husband's reputation to deceive and swindle. Everyone must not believe them. For such people, I will never show mercy. After saying this, she signaled to the bodyguards restraining me. Teach him a lesson and consider it a warning to those with ulterior motives. Otherwise, if everyone starts impersonating my husband in the future, how will we handle it? Upon Isabella's orders, the bodyguards began to beat me up. After just a few rounds, I was beaten bloody. Isabella leaned in with a sinister smirk and whispered in my ear, this is the price for your disobedience. Apologize to me. And Kevin, right now, beg on your knees, and I'll let you go. Otherwise, I'll make you suffer even worse. I spat at her. Isabella, the first swear, I'll make your life a living hell. Truth be told, even before Isabella arrived, I anticipated this confrontation and had already arranged for backup. The reason I didn't have them arrive before Isabella was because I wanted to see just how far this woman had fallen into depravity. By my calculations, my people should be arriving any minute now. I originally wanted to spare her out of consideration for our past marital ties, but now it seems completely unnecessary. At that moment, 2 teams of personnel in different uniforms arrived simultaneously, surrounding the crowd. Kevin thought these were people brought by Isabella and flattered her with a fawning look. Darling, you're too good to me. Hearing I was in trouble, you actually brought so many people to stand up for me. But when Isabella saw who had arrived, her face turned pale with terror. Protect the boss, apprehend the suspect, rescue specialist Miller, take down all the criminals, lethal force authorized if resisted. As the leaders of both teams issued their commands, the bodyguards restraining me were all knocked to the ground. Kevin and Isabella were also subdued, with one of them being executed on the spot for putting up fierce resistance. The gunshots silenced everyone in the room, and all the bodyguards brought by Isabella immediately complied without protest. Kevin, lying beaten on the ground, thought they had mistaken their target, covering his head. He shouted, you got the wrong person. ISNT, your boss, Isabella Garcia. I'm her husband. Why are you hitting me? My private security chief, Sam, slapped him hard across the face. I grew up with the boss in childhood. How could I mistake who she is? That Isabella you mentioned is just a watchdog our boss keeps. Another team leader in tactical gear pointed at Isabella, and Kevin reprimanding them. Expert Miller is a nationally protected defense technology asset. How dare you attempt to harm him? I'm sending you both to military court. Captain Rogers, enough. Mr. Miller, my apologies. In the heat of the moment, I forgot the confidentiality protocols. After my reminder, Captain Rogers of the security detail realized he had let slip classified information. When the crowd heard I was a defense expert, murmurs immediately spread through them. Who would have thought Mr. Miller isn't just a business tycoon, but also a key national defense talent, and so humble too, truly remarkable. In that case, those two adulterers deserve even worse. While the husband serve his country, the wife raises a pretty boy behind his back. Beat those adulterous scum to death. We can't let our hero shed blood and tears. Before taking over Apex Global Holdings, I was already an outstanding talent in national defense technology, and my aspirations never lay in business. But my father had only me as a son on his deathbed. He forced me, with his dying wish, to abandon my beloved scientific research and return home to inherit the family business. Later, a certain country developed a weapon posing extreme threat to our nation. The country urgently needed to develop more advanced weapons for countermeasures. Time is tight, and the task is heavy. The nation urgently mobilized top talents, working day and night on research and development, determined to eliminate the border threat as soon as possible and safeguard national security. In times of crisis, my former leader remembered me as a top talent and invited me to come out of retirement. Faced with the nation's peril, I naturally answered the call, without hesitation, sacrificing my family for the greater good, and rushed to the front lines of the national defense effort. Due to my special status, it was inconvenient for me to publicly manage the company anymore. So I had my wife Isabella take over as CEO, while I continued to direct the company's major strategies behind the scenes. 3 months ago, I finally overcame the technical challenges and developed a weapon capable of countering our adversaries. After the successful development of the weapon, I applied to the organization for retirement, intending to focus solely on managing Apex Global Holdings left by my father. It was his dying wish and the culmination of his life's work. Little did I know Isabella lost herself in the pursuit of power, not only betraying me, but also attempting to seize the Miller family's legacy for herself. When Isabella and Kevin learned my true identity, their faces turned pale with fear. David, you have to let me explain. It's not what you think. Slap, I struck Isabella hard across the face. If you want to live, shut the hell up. After hitting Isabella, the first turned to Captain Rogers. Why are you here? I'm retired now. You have no obligation to protect me anymore. Captain Rogers looked remorseful. Mr. Miller, our superiors have made it clear that even though you're retired, you're still a national hero who deserves lifelong protection from the organization. When Sam notified me you were in danger, I mobilized the team immediately. I shot Sam a reproachful look, blaming him for making unnecessary trouble for the organization. Boss, when I got your notice, I thought that's why I informed Captain Rogers I'm sorry. Seeing my disapproving gaze, Sam quickly explained. I rolled my eyes at him and continued speaking to Captain Rogers. Rogers, this is a family matter. Besides, my private security team is already here. There's no issue with my safety, so you and your men can head back first. I don't want them here, because with them around, I can't act freely. Captain Rogers took one look at the situation and understood my predicament, then led his team away. The moment they left, I ordered my private security team to first give these two cheating scoundrels a proper beating, one so severe their own mothers wouldn't recognize them. Al, you are killing us. The chairman of Apex Global Holdings is abusing his power to assault civilians. Kevin screamed hoarsely after being beaten, attempting to emotionally manipulate through moral coercion. I stepped forward and stomped hard on his face. You fucking started by calling me a poor bastard because you drove a Porsche, and now that you're beaten to a pulp and crying for mercy, you're trying to guilt trip me. Scum like you taking you down is doing society a favor. David, I know I was wrong. Can you please forgive me? Just as I was stepping on Kevin to teach him a lesson, Isabella clung to my leg from behind, pleading desperately with me. Kneeling alongside her were her mother and younger brother, who had just arrived. David, it's all Isabella's fault for committing such an ungrateful, beastly act. It's my failure in raising her. I've raised a daughter worse than an animal. I'm kneeling before you, now begging you to spare Isabella's life, please. Her mother kept kowtowing on the ground while slapping her own face between each bow. My mother-in-law has always been grateful for the help I've given her family over the years and has treated me very well. Presumably, she was also unaware of Isabella and Kevin's affair. Seeing her kneel before me at such an old age, I couldn't bear it and helped her up. Annie, this matter has nothing to do with you. There's no need to kneel before me. Please get up. My mother-in-law stood up and slapped Isabella hard across the face. You beast, how dare you commit such inhuman acts? I'll beat you to death. If David hadn't covered my medical expenses, I would have died from illness in bed 10 years ago. If David hadn't funded your education, you'd be a factory line worker now. You'd never have had the chance to complete your undergraduate studies, your graduate studies, or to take charge of such a large enterprise. If it weren't for David paying for your brother's overseas treatment, whether your brother could have survived is questionable. Think about how much our family owes the Millers for where we are today, and yet you sigh, why don't you just drop dead? Hearing the mother-in-law's scolding in the crowd, those who understood some of the backstory began to condemn Isabella one after another. Still calling herself the Iron Lady of Apex, turns out she's just a traitorous, ungrateful wretch. Disgusting. To openly call her lover husband in front of everyone, such a shameless woman, is truly rare. I think this Mr. Miller went too easy on them. If it were me, I'd have beaten that cheating couple to death. After hearing the crowd's comments, Isabella's brother turned red. With suppressed anger, unable to vent at his sister, he rushed forward and started beating Kevin. "You damn trash, how dare you seduce my sister, I'll beat you to death." The battered Kevin wailed, pitifully crying out to Isabella, "For help, Isabella, darling, make your brother stop, save me please." Hearing the voice, Isabella, who had been kneeling on the ground, quickly stood up and rushed toward Kevin. She picked up a brick from the ground and smashed it hard onto Kevin's head. "You damn bastard, who's your darling, I'll beat you to death." With that single brick strike, Kevin's eyes rolled back, instantly his breath shallow and labored, barely clinging to life. Isabella raised the brick to strike again, but was abruptly pulled back by her younger brother. "Sister, stop hitting him, he's about to die." Isabella saw Kevin lying on the ground, bleeding profusely, and gave a bitter smile before turning to kneel before me. "David, I know it's impossible for you to forgive me now. I admit I was wrong, and I'll prove my repentance through my actions. David Miller, Isabella Garcia, have wronged you. I don't expect your forgiveness, but I beg you to treat my family kindly. That's all I ask." Tears welled up in my eyes as I nodded. "Okay, looking back now, Isabella and I did share some beautiful moments together in the beginning. If I hadn't left her alone for the sake of the country back then, perhaps. But there are no more perhaps. In the end, Isabella was sentenced to death for intentional homicide, and I kept my promise to treat her family well." The end.